Hey, it's Alicia with Successfilled. I'm so glad you're here. How would you like to be able to effectively deal with distracted thoughts? Distractions can make it challenging to complete a task or a project. And fortunately, there are effective ways to deal with distractions. One way you can do that is with the Mind to Matter tool. Let's dive right into the tool. Okay, step one, pick a method to record your thoughts. The idea here is to do something constructive with those beautiful thoughts that you have, but minimizing their impact on your focus. Now, the method you use could be a notepad, like a physical notepad, or a notes or an audio app. It might be even post-it notes, whatever method you choose, okay? Just pick the method that appeals to you the most, all right? That's step one. Step two, schedule a recurring time for 10 minutes at the end of the day to review your ideas, those distracted thoughts that came into your head that you noted down, plus 5 minutes to take a fun break. So it's a total of 15 minutes. And this includes fun time. So it's not just like 15 minutes of drudgery, it's 10 minutes of reviewing and then 5 minutes of fun, okay? Schedule this brief session for each day, either during your free time or during working hours, whichever works best for you. Step three, when an idea pops into your head, so those distracting thoughts, that's what I'm talking about, that are taking you away from what you're doing, taking away from your focus, you write it down or you make an audio note. And this is the step that the name of the tool comes from. So you get your distracting, thoughts out of your mind so that they don't continue to run around and distract you, like a cute little puppy. And you turn them, those, thoughts, those distracting thoughts into something physical or into matter. So hence the name Mind to Matter tool. Okay. Now, if you're using a notepad, a physical notepad, you turn your thoughts into writing on a piece of paper. With digital or audio note, your thoughts become a file that is stored where you can see it or hear it again. So regardless of the method, you're turning it into something that's just a thought, an idea in your head, and you put it down into something physical. And you want to do that because you're going to need to get it, come back to it. And so you want it down. And also that way it helps you stop like ruminating, having it chase around in your head like that cute little puppy. And sometimes, your thoughts, as you know, sometimes they're not cute like a puppy. They're kind of not good thoughts, right? Either case, doesn't matter what the thought is, just get it down and follow these steps, okay? So now, step 4. Picture putting your distracting ideas into a comfortable room where they can hang out until you're ready to review them. And then close the door to the room. So this closing of the door, that serves as your cue to return back to what you were doing before your thoughts interrupted you. Okay, so you picture, after you've recorded them in some way, you picture going ahead, you're putting them in this cute little, comfy, cozy room where they can hang out, do whatever they want. And then you close the door. So that closing of the door then triggers you, that's your cue, your trigger to go ahead and then return to your work. Okay. Step 5. When the scheduled review time arrives, review the thoughts that you wrote down or recorded. And this review step is important because it helps prevent those disruptive thoughts from continuing to pop into your head and to cause, disruptions. Here's what you do for the review. First, when the time arrives to review the thoughts that you captured, set a timer for 15 minutes. So that's going to be up. Actually, that should be set a timer for 10 minutes, okay? Set a timer for 10 minutes. It's going to be a total of 15 minutes, but in this case, set a timer for 10 minutes because really 10 minutes is the review part, okay? So set a timer for 10 minutes, and that's to review the thoughts, okay? And then when you're done, then with those 10 minutes, then you go ahead and set a timer for 5 minutes to take your fun reward. Okay, so that's the first part of that. Now, the second part is review one thought at a time and using the following filter until you've gone through all your thoughts. And the idea behind this is to just like quickly go through them. This isn't a time where you're like, oh my gosh, what should I do with these thoughts? No, this is just like a next step. Okay, so here, this is the filter that you use. Is the thought about something that you have control over? So that's the key. Do you have control over whatever this thing is? And I'm sure you've heard about this before, but this is a good way of vetting these thoughts. Okay. So if yes, if the answer is yes, you do have control over whatever this thought would, these thoughts were about, this first set of them. Decide one step, just one step, and schedule when you're going to do that next step. So just quickly, first step that comes to mind. Okay, perfect. You have that step. Write it down now in your planner. If you have a paper planner, great. If you have, it digitally, go ahead and put it in your digital calendar. So whatever way you're managing your calendar, your time, do that. Okay. And now, so this is something that you can control. So you have your step, you recorded when you're going to do your step, and you record what this step is. Okay. So in that little note, put what this step is too. Okay. All right. So now keep the paper or file where you noted this thought until it's been completed. And depending on how important it is to you, like where you are right at this moment with your current goals, you might want to schedule it for a month or maybe even a year from now. But definitely schedule it so it's something that you're going to come back to. Okay. All right. So if the answer is no, that it's not, you're using this filter again, back to the filter. If the answer is no, that it's not something you have control over, thank the thought for trying to help you and mark a line through it. Throw it out if it's a Post-it note, or delete it if it's a written or an audio, a digital note file. Okay. Either way. So that way it's like, okay, done. You only keep those ones that you need to have further action on, okay? And the rest of it, just get rid of. Okay, now the third part of this is, I mentioned it before, the third part is now that you've done that, set a timer for 5 minutes and take that break to do something fun. And the key here for the whatever fun thing it is that you want to do, it should be like a good enough incentive that it actually makes you want to do that 10-minute review. Okay. And then you can repeat that if you have time, repeat that 15-minute process with the 10 minutes of review and the 5 minutes of fun. Or if you're on a roll, just keep going. And then you can either just take the 5-minute, fun break, or make it a 10-minute break, however you want to do it. Okay. All right. So that is, and the fun reward, it also, not that it's just, fun, but that having something fun to look forward to, something you're anticipating, that it's like, all right, if I just get through this, then I get to have this fun reward. It helps you make these changes, so you're trying to do something different here. You're trying to help improve your life by minimizing your distractions, by managing them in a way that's effective. And so, but this is a change that you're making. So it helps you make that change by incentivizing you, by being like, all right, I'm going to do this different thing. That's, in the beginning, it can feel a little bit off, because you're not used to doing it, but then it just becomes habit and, you're good to go. But until it becomes that automatic habit, having this, fun thing to do is really important. Then afterwards, once it becomes a habit, it's equally important because it helps you keep going. So, sometimes it's easy to just do things once or twice and then you're like, whatever. But having a fun reward, like having that built into the process that you're really having fun, it just helps you and it just makes your life better. Why wouldn't you want to have more fun? Okay. All right. So that's the tool. Now, here are a couple of tips to use it. If you use Post-it notes to capture your thoughts, you might want to get those larger Post-it notes or Post-it pads. There's those decorative Post-it pads, whatever you want that makes sense to you, but you want to have enough room to capture your thoughts. Okay. All right. And one other tip is you can set a recurring alarm, on your phone typically, but if you use some other method, go ahead and do that. And you set the alarm for that time, that scheduled time each day for your distracted thoughts review. And this serves as an additional reminder, and hopefully it helps like break through the clutter to grab your attention even more. It makes it harder to ignore, some pop-up that comes up if you actually have an alarm with a noise, hopefully with a noise, either a song, a tone, whatever. Oh, and that's actually another tip. Make it something that you don't have, like if you're doing it as a reminder, make it a completely unique sound or tone so you know what it's for. So you don't just ignore it, you know what it's for. Of course, you can ignore it anyway, but hopefully you don't. And that'll just help if it's something different. So oh, okay, it's not that, I was supposed to go do something else or, whatever that could be like blown off. So that's just one more tip. Okay. All right. Now you've seen how to use the Mind to Matter tool to deal with distracted thoughts. And so you have a step-by-step way to stop distracted thoughts from derailing you. So you can go after your dreams and keep going after them, instead of being like, all right, I'm making such great progress. Because all those little thoughts in your head keep, running around and distracting you. So anyway, if you'd like more help staying focused, check out my offers on successfilled.com. That's the word success, the word filled.com, or successfilled.com. All right, you've got this. Bye for now.